What you are about to hear, ladies and gentlemen, is not your usual tale of policing, of tough guys with sunglasses barking orders, but something far stranger and infinitely more British in its irony. Picture this: Kansas City, a place better known for jazz and barbecue, suddenly becomes the stage for a police revolution. Not with robots, not with shiny new laws, not even with Silicon Valley gadgets. No. The great transformation began the moment officers stopped seeing people as problems and started seeing them as, well, people. Radical, isn't it? Almost too simple for our sophisticated age. Now, let's rewind. Once upon a not-so-distant past, the SWAT team of Kansas City decided the cure for crime was zero tolerance. No nonsense, no excuses. Tickets for everyone, arrests for anything, sweep the streets clean. Like fishermen with a giant net, they dragged in the guilty and the innocent alike. And the result? Surprise, surprise. Crime got worse, and the community despised the police. The protectors had become the enemy. One officer had the courage to say what everyone already knew: "Chip, what we're doing isn't working." And Chip, being honest, admitted, "Yes, I know, but we're the police. This is what we do." You see the madness? Like a doctor who prescribes arsenic because, well, it's tradition. But then came the twist. The officers encountered the ideas of a think tank called the Arbinger Institute. They began asking a peculiar question. Do we really see people as people? Not as statistics, not as obstacles, not as paperwork, but as human beings. And when they asked this question, reality shifted. Let me give you examples. Once upon a time, aggressive dogs during raids were simply shot. Problem solved, except of course for the owners sobbing over their pets. But then one officer asked, if someone served a warrant at your house, would you want them to shoot your dog? The team fell silent. They all had dogs. And so, instead of bullets, they brought in an expert on dog behavior, plus new tech to restrain animals. Result: an 80% drop in dogs being killed. Progress measured not in arrests, but in wagging tails. Another story: suspects being transported in police wagons complained of unbearable heat. Officers, instead of shrugging, went to the hardware store, bought PVC pipes and duct tape with their own money, and rigged a system to pump cool air into the prisoner compartments. Simple, human, ingenious. Imagine that. Prisoners arriving calmer, detention officers relieved, no chaos at the jailhouse. All because two policemen thought, what if we treat them as people? And then there was the famous baby bottle incident. During a raid, chaos reigned. Toddlers clung to officers' legs, mothers screamed, babies wailed. The scene was bedlam. One officer vanished. Where was he? Hiding? On the phone? No. He was in the kitchen, in full tactical gear, mixing baby bottles at the sink. He handed them to the mothers. The babies drank, the crying stopped, and suddenly communication became possible. Order restored, suspects arrested, humanity preserved. These acts were not in any manual, not in any government directive. They came from a simple mindset shift: people matter. The results? Astonishing. In 3 years, the team captured more guns and drugs than in the previous decade. And yet, they went from the most complained about unit in the department to receiving 0 community complaints in 6 years. 0. Imagine that in Britain. A police unit with no complaints? Westminster would faint. Back to the West Side, once plagued by crime and fear. After abandoning zero tolerance, 2 officers built trust with the community. They gave ID cards to day laborers, set up centers with food, coffee, and showers. Those not picked for work did community service. Cleaning, painting, even making tamales with neighborhood matriarchs. The criminals could no longer hide among honest workers. Fear dissolved, cooperation flourished, and crime plummeted. Businesses returned, families felt safe. The police were seen not as enemies but as allies. Ladies and gentlemen, the lesson is clear. New laws, shiny technology, fancy policies. None of these matter if the mindset is wrong. Transformation begins not with mandates but with perspective. See people as people, and the world changes. Ignore that truth, and you end up policing shadows while crime festers in the light. And here's the irony. Politicians in Britain love to talk about reforms, commissions, inquiries, lessons learned. Endless chatter. Yet in Kansas City, real reform happened not through speeches but through small acts of humanity. A dog spared, a prisoner cooled, a baby fed. That's how trust is built. That's how communities heal. So, as we look at our own institutions, be they police, parliament, or the endless circus of Westminster, perhaps the moral is simple. Stop treating people as problems and start treating them as people. It works in Kansas City. It could work here too. What do you think? Is Britain ready for that kind of transformation? Or are we too addicted to the same tired scripts of division and blame? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join us again for more straight talk. BritSpectrum News, think different.